I'm going to give you one guess to guess where I'm going on holiday in just a few days' time. Have you got it? I'm Becky and welcome back to my vlog, and if you haven't guessed, then yes, we are going to Orlando, Florida to do the theme parks, including Disney and Universal Studios. In this vlog, I'm going to be talking all things packing and planning, including, of course, my Mickey ears. So these ones I got for, I think, about £4.50 from Primark, and they are Halloween because, again, you guessed it, we're going at Halloween time. And then the other ones are some Baobun ones. I love these. These are from Japan. These are from Tokyo Disney Sea. And what makes these ones special is because me and my husband hadn't really been to a theme park together before. I'd done them when I was younger, he'd done them when he was younger, but we'd not done them together. So when we went to Japan, we thought, oh, should we go to Tokyo Disney Sea while we're here? Should we go to Universal? So we went to, obviously, Tokyo Disney Sea in Tokyo and then Universal Studios in Osaka. And those were two amazing days that just kind of made up part of a really great holiday in Japan. Obviously we did a lot of culture trips as well, exploring different areas, but for 2 days we spent them in the parks, and we thought, why don't we go on a whole holiday around theme parks, because we just really forgot how much we enjoyed them. And we're in a period of our lives right now where it's possible for us to go, so we're going to Orlando for 2 whole weeks. I'm very excited, and we jet off on the 2nd of October, so very, very soon. So we are flying with Virgin. We aren't doing premium economy or anything like that, we're just in box standard economy, but we have got extra legroom because Nick is very, very tall, so it just makes sense for us to do that. So we'll show you what box standard economy, I'm sure they don't call it box standard economy, but we'll just show you what economy looks like as well, because I know I've seen a lot of videos in premium economy and you get the little mug of tea and lots of other bits, but I think you get quite a similar experience in economy as well. Obviously it'd be lovely to fly in first class or business class, whatever they call it, I'm not quite sure with Virgin, but not on the cards today or tomorrow, but maybe one day, probably not. But anyway, back to theme parks. So yeah, these ones were just a really cheapy pair that I picked up from Primark. I just saw them ages ago, actually, way before October, I think even in August or something. I saw these and I thought, oh, I regret not getting them. So they've got little sequins inside and obviously cobwebs and a massive orange bow. I think I might feel a little self-conscious, I don't know, are the bows usually this big? I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I don't feel self-conscious with bow buns on my head, but I love bow buns. And I love a bow as well, so we'll see how. And obviously at Disney everyone's going to be wearing ears. I probably wouldn't wear them down the street here, but yeah, in Disney it's going to be Halloween when we go. There's going to be pumpkins out. We are going to do Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and we're also doing Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, which I'm actually really, really nervous for. I do not watch horror films. The most horror I kind of get is your sort of Megan, like your kind of silly thrillers, and even them, they'll give me nightmares, so not as looking forward to Halloween Horror Nights. I hadn't quite realised how expensive the add-ons and tickets like that were, so what we were faced with was we wanted to do America or possibly Tomorrowland, and for where we live to get to Tomorrowland and do the hotel, because we have done Tomorrowland before and we did it with Global Journey and it's just an easier way to secure your tickets. You're very unlikely to get them in the general sale, unfortunately, or that's our experience anyway. So when we have gone, we've got it through Global Journey and it was very, very expensive, and we worked out for the same price or a similar price as to what we were looking for at spending for, I think it was maybe a 3-night, 4-day trip to Tomorrowland. It was very similar to a 2-week trip to Orlando. That is only flights and hotel, then you start adding on the theme park tickets and that's when it gets pricey. And the ones that I wasn't aware of how pricey they were the additional ones. So Mickey's Not So Scary and Universal Halloween Horror Nights, I think I'm saying those both right. They've got quite long names, not exactly punchy names. They do cost a fair few pounds, or dollars I should say. But we bought them now. We're going for, you know what, we're going to do this once, so we might as well do it to the full. And so that's what we're doing. So I will show you what I am packing. Obviously the ears have to go in, and I am definitely going to put these ears in my hand luggage. I would be very sad if I lost these, and these ones, they're just my cheapy ones from Primark, but again, I'd still be upset. I mean, I'd be upset if I lost anything, but you know, they're Baobun ones. they hold a special place in my heart. If you watch my Bicester Village resale outlet shopping trip video, then you will have seen that I purchased a little Michael Kors rucksack, which I was very pleased about. And it was for this holiday that I was purchasing it for, and I'm very excited that it's finally out of its packaging. I've kept it nice and fresh just for this trip, and then obviously I'll use it after the trip. I'm not just going to use it just for this trip. But I also got, oh, if I can get it out, I got these when it was Comic Relief from TK Maxx. So TK Maxx always do a sort of collab with Comic Relief and TK Maxx. So they had Wallace and Gromit, other bits and bobs, other IP, but the Disney ones, which is what I was interested in this year, obviously. So I've got Nick one with a Mickey on, and myself one with a Minnie on. And Nick said, oh, what are you going to use those for? And at the time I didn't know, but now I know, as you can probably tell. There's some goodies in here. So I've seen these amazing snack boxes people make, and they're kind of these see-through boxes with little dividers, and they fill them with different sweets and stuff. But to be honest, I'm just too lazy for all of that. Here comes my zip bag. So in here, I've just bought some random snacks and things, just so we've got some nibbles for the plane. So sometimes plain food just doesn't really sit well with me, so I'm gonna see how it goes. But if I decide not to go for it, then at least I know I've got just some little bits of sugar. I mean, these are completely empty calories, there's nothing healthy in here whatsoever. Maybe I should put an apple in. I don't know if you can take fresh fruit or anything on the plane. So all of this is just packaged. So we've got Aldi's answer to a mini cheddar in there, so we've got a couple packets of those. We've got some Freddos. I am aware of the shrinkflation there with Freddos. Apparently he used to be a lot chubbier. I will have to have a look when I open it up. I've not had one in years. So a couple of them. And then I got these gold biscuits, but they're tiny. They were like in a multi-pack thing. I'm sure they're usually bigger than that. I don't know. But anyway, 2 of them in there. Then some Eat and Mess little cake bar things. I've had them before. They're quite nice actually, those. And then we love squashies in this household. So I always love the extra squashy flavours and ranges that they do. So we've got Squashies Tropical, it's got different fruits and stuff in, and they've got pineapple, watermelon and a mango and passion fruit. And then shove those all back in. Nick has the exact same in his pouch, but he's got the squashy fizzers. So these are fruit flavours. I don't know, it doesn't tell me anywhere what fruit flavours, but I don't know. Apparently fruit flavour. Whatever fruit flavour is, that's what these squashies taste of. So that's in there. And then obviously we're going to mix and match the squashies. I just didn't want to open the packet because why would I do that? So they're going in. So they're just some little snacks that we can have on the plane, and then also just some bits to have in the hotel if we don't eat them on the plane. So they're going in hand luggage. We get a little kind of personal item carry-on bag, under seat bag, I'm not sure what they call it on Virgin, and then we have a little suitcase, little rolly one as well. And then obviously we have our big suitcase. With economy you just get one big suitcase. I think with premium you get 2, but don't quote me on that. So you get 1 and it's about 23 kilograms, and the little suitcase is about 10 kilograms. And I think the rule for the bag is that it just has to fit under the seat in front of you, but with us being on the extra legroom seats you don't often have a seat in front of you, so often your little hand item will go up in the cabin lockers as well as your rolly suitcase. Of course, as well as sweets, we're going to have some other essential items in here, so passport, purse, things like that. It's also got this handy little pocket at the front. I'm not sure if you'll see. Oh yeah, you can. There's some tablets in there, so you know, just sort of first aidy, paracetamol, ibuprofen, allergy tablets. And also I have started getting travel sick on planes. I don't know if anyone else has had this. I used to have horrendous travel sickness growing up. I was in the car for about 2 minutes, felt really sick. Same for boats. Oh, I do not like travelling on boats. I get so seasick. But planes, I've never felt sick on a plane, and then recently, the past couple of times I've flown, I felt sick. So I've got these quells. I did have a look at these patches that you could stick on your neck, but they were all kind of natural remedies. I know these work, and I mean I'd be interested to see if the patches work. I don't know, but maybe not on a 9-hour flight or 8-hour flight. I think I want to go with something that I know that I've tried and tested myself, and not so much the natural patches, just because I've tried sort of natural things for other scenarios and they don't often work for me. I don't know if it's probably, maybe part of it is a self-belief placebo effect, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to stick with my quills for now, unless anyone has any recommendations for the patches, but it's a bit too late because by the time I post this video I might already be back in England, which will be very, very sad, but it'll be nice to look back on this video as a memory. Then also in this bag I have an eye mask, which is one of those padded ones, and then I have my dollars as well, which is very exciting. So we've not got too many dollars out, to be fair. Who have we got? Oh yes, we've checked. It's Hamilton. We've got I think we've only got $100 because we had a look, and I mean it's just, we have cards. We've got cards that kind of work abroad with no charge as well, so you know, Monzo, Revolut, all of those. So we just thought it's a bit of a waste bringing loads of cash if the card is kind of safer to travel with anyway. So we've just got some cash for emergencies, and if there are any shops that don't accept card, but I find that quite unlikely, so pop the eye mask back in there. Then I remembered, as well as my ears, I've also got this scrunchie. How fun. Let me just, so you can see Oogie Boogie poking out from behind the bow. And it's a little scrunchie. So I saw this scrunchie on Etsy by a company called Good to Be Ear, like ear, and I popped it in my basket, and then literally the next day it sold out. I thought, oh no, I just bought it. I'm just terrible for being on those people where I think about it and then it's already gone. So I just need to get things when I see them and not forget. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll chance messaging them and seeing if they have any left in stock. I think they make them all by hand themselves, and they came back to me and they said, when do you need it for? And luckily I was doing this so far in advance, so there was loads of time. I've had this for ages now, and I said I've got loads of time, and they're like, yep, no problem, we'll send one to you. And look, it's so cute. But Etsy's great for these kind of things. There's so many bits and bobs. I mean, you could spend a fortune on Etsy, but at least you know it's kind of going to an independent business as well, which is nice. So, you know, one from Primark, one from an independent seller. Perfect. A little bit of balance in life, a little bit of balance. So that is going in the hand luggage as well. Because we've gone with Virgin, we've got the 2-week-long tickets. So you get 14 days worth of tickets for all of the Disney parks, and then 14 days worth of tickets for all of the Universal parks, apart from Epic. So for Epic, if you do the 14-day ticket, you only get 1 day at Epic. So we have actually bought a 2nd day at Epic, and it's much easier to sort of, I found, to buy on their app. So I've used Universal's app or website, just gone to them directly to get the 2nd day at Epic and also the Fast Pass. One thing I didn't do directly with them, and it was the same for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, I'm pretty sure, is I used a website called Attraction Tickets, and they are apparently a genuine website that sells you legit tickets, and it's very common knowledge, and I never heard of it before. I was a bit worried about using it, to be honest, but it seems to have worked. I've bought my Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and my Halloween Horror Nights through them, and they have been accepted. The tickets are in my app, so it all seems to be absolutely fine. I did actually call Disney before I bought the Mickey's Not So Scary, and they actually said, yeah, it's the best for you to buy the party tickets through them. There seems to be some disruption in the internet waves, I don't know, for you to be able to get the party tickets in the UK. I'm not sure about other countries. But where was I going with this? I'm not sure. That was it. The amount of days we've got. So we've got 2 weeks at Disney, 2 weeks at Universal, 2 days at Epic, including 1 day that came with the 14-day pass, and then 1 that we bought extra. And then with the Fast Pass, it's 3 days worth of Fast Pass that you have to use within a period of 6 consecutive days. And I've checked with the small print. I believe I'm understanding that correctly, but I will give you any updates on this in later videos. So I'm hoping to vlog the whole trip. I'm not a first time person at the parks, but this is the first time as a grown-up and not with family, so we are in charge of our own spending money, in charge of our own bookings, feeling very grown up in my 30s, going to my Disney, but yeah, so it's the first time we're the ones that are, if anything goes wrong, it's our own fault basically. And I've done so much planning. My days, planning an Orlando trip is like an extreme sport, I kid you not. We have had to be on top of it for deadlines, and I know I've got to get my lightning lanes tomorrow, and there's just so many things you have to think about. I mean, of course you could just buy a ticket and rock up and you'll still get into the parks, but I think you'll have I'm just guessing this, I've not been in years and years and years. It seems to be that if you don't do all this prep, you might lose time, or it might be a little bit more difficult to get around and things like that. It has been a whole thing basically, so it's a little bit, I mean, it's fun, but it's also a little bit stressful. I mean, there's a lot worse things going on in the world than booking an Orlando holiday. It's definitely, you know, sit down with a glass of wine and just get planning. I actually have a whole Canva presentation of what we're doing on each day so far, so yeah, hopefully it all goes to plan. But obviously we are flexible as well, because there are some parks where we're thinking, oh, not sure if we'll actually spend the whole day there, or we might only do that park once and then that frees up another day, and we know that we're definitely, I say definitely, we are 99% probably not going to do the water parks. It's just not for us. But I do actually have a swimming costume with me because our hotel has a pool. So we are going to stay at one of the new Universal hotels that have kind of been opened alongside of Epic Universe. So they had Terra Luna, they've got Stella Nova, and they've got the Helios Hotel. So we are staying in Terra Luna, which I think is basically identical to Stella Nova, but Stella Nova is on the side where you can walk to Epic, and then Terra Luna is not, you have to get a bus, something like that. That's like the difference. I think Terra Luna is more Earth, planets, space based, and then Stella Nova is space and constellation space. I'm not quite sure, I could be making that up. That's just kind of what I've gathered from pictures and other people's vlogs. I have watched so many vlogs, I have to say. Anyway, I've gone off on a complete tangent. Let me show you what I am packing for our trip. Let's go. Okay, I think this is looking pretty neat at the moment. So I do use packing cubes. I'm very much a packing cube fan. Oh, my little sewing kit there. I actually found that this was really useful when I went to Japan because my bag broke and then I was able to sort of stitch it up. So definitely bringing that along with me again. And then I've packed everything in packing cubes. This purple thing on top is actually a cagoule or a poncho, whatever you call it, because we know that they're, oh, also, sorry to go on a tangent again, but excuse the nail grow out, I am getting them done, don't worry. I know you're panicking, no, but seriously, I am going to get these done. But they were cool, weren't they? Tortoiseshell, they've just grown out a bit, and I'm going to get little black tips, I think with a little hidden Mickey on one and a little star on the other thumb to kind of a nod towards Disney and then a nod towards Epic Universe. So anyway, where am I going? Off tangent again. Purple thing, this is a poncho because we know it's going to rain really badly in the middle of the day basically, but apart from that it does look like it's going to be high 20s, low 30s. In each of the bags I have packed by day, and I've put a little Mickey Mouse on the ones that are Disney because, like I said, I've not been, well, in a long time, so I actually couldn't remember. I kept thinking that Hollywood Studios was one of the Universal parks, but no, that's Universal Studios obviously. But yeah, Hollywood Studios is a Disney park and Universal Studios is a Universal park, but my brain just can't remember that. So Mickey Mouse, that's why he's there. So I've packed some in extra packs just so they don't mark. So for example, this dress is new, I don't want to get any marks on it. And then so for some of these dresses I've also got shorts just to go underneath, just because we don't want to be flashing people as we get on and off rides. So I thought this was quite spacey vibes. I mean, it's not, it's beaches, but they kind of like planets from a distance. Do you see what I was going with there? And then this, I don't know, this might be a silly dress for the Animal Kingdom. We will try it. We'll see how it goes. And then we've got some more just basic sort of tops and things, and then a couple of Disney themed tops which I will show you properly when we're there. I'm not going to unpack all of this and show you, but I just wanted to show you that I use packing cubes and I've gone for an extreme post-it note. So I always use post-it notes, but I never usually put them on the day and keep them there, if that makes any sense. So usually I will write a post-it note and then I will just pack everything in one big blob. But this time I thought, no, because I've got some tops that are actually have Disney characters on, I can't be wearing Disney at Universal, can I? Even I know that. I might not know the difference between Hollywood Studios and Universal Studios, but I know you can't be wearing a Mickey to a Universal site. However, having said that, I am actually going to be wearing this Mickey jumper on the plane, and I will be rocking up to the Universal Hotel in it, so they'll just have to get over that. This is so soft, its little face is so fuzzy. I thought it was a really fun design, and it was £10 from Primark, which, you know, that's not bad going, because I think some of the jumpers in actual Disney are very expensive. That is one thing that I know that I can be a little worried about spending loads of money, so I'm slightly concerned that I'm going to be put off spending anything there, but I have saved some money, put some aside just so I can get a few souvenirs. And then these leggings are the softest leggings ever. They're just from Primark, and again, let's see if I've got the price in here. Oh no, I've taken the price off these ones. So this jumper I bought ages ago. I think I bought this before the ears. I think I may have actually purchased it the same day we booked the tickets, just because I just thought, oh, it's a little celebratory thing, spend money to celebrate spending money. Anyway, little celebratory item that I knew I was going to wear on the plane, so that's nearly a year old, I think. These are recent, but it's part of this range. I want to say they were about £12, but they are so soft. So that's what I'm wearing for the flight. And then shoe wise, I've got these Steve Madden shoes that I've had for quite a while. Tried to give them a little bit of a clean and a spruce up. Then my trusty Timberlands that are very comfortable, and again, these have done so many miles now, so I tried to clean them and also use this protective spray on it, sneaky spray, so we'll see if that helps. I'm not sure if it will. We also have just some Timberland sandals. As you can tell, I do love a bit of Timberland, and that's just for if we go out in the evening. I'd have thought, should I bring some delicate sandals? I don't know why I'm asking this. I know this video is going to go out when I've already been there, but maybe I can report back to my past self, future self, whichever way around it is, and tell her whether it was a good shout or not a good shout to bring or not bring some more delicate shoes, because I do like a chunky shoe, but maybe we should bring some nice strappy sandals as well, just for the night time. My bag has become chaos. You can probably see everything everywhere. This bag, I was duped. I bought it online and I thought it was a full-size bag, but it's a little kid's bag, so as you may be able to tell from the weight of it, that's got all my toiletries in. I just thought it was a fun little themed Mickey Mouse bag. As you can see, I've got most of my bits packed, so I've got my full outfits arranged by a post-it note. Does anyone else do that? I feel like a lot of people do that, maybe not with the post-it notes, but they know what they're going to wear for each part for each day. I do have my pyjamas, socks, things like that packed as well. I do have some very cute little pyjamas that have got Toy Story across them, and speaking of Toy Story, I have been picking up little bits like these. So they are Lotso earrings, and they've got actual Lotso, and then also it's bee themed for Becky, so there's some little pearly earrings with bee written on them. They're very fun. And then perfume wise, I'm thinking of taking this one, so it's D&G, and the way I describe this smell is like it's a posh Lush. You know the cosmetics company Lush? It kind of smells like that, but like a high-end version. And I'm not saying that Lush isn't high-end before I get ridiculed in the comments. Yes, Lush bath bombs are very nice. I do love a Lush one, but it's almost like a designer Lush. That's what this smells like, and very nice. It is quite hefty though, that's the only thing. But yeah, there should be plenty in there. I've still got maybe a third of a bottle left of that. But it's very nice. I think that one will be coming with me. I just like to have a little holiday scent, but I might swap for another one if that one's too heavy. But perfume bottles these days are really hefty. I forgot to say, I've got my travel pillow, of course, for the plane. I actually sleep okay on planes, and I'm not feeling sick, I'm sleeping. And I'm hoping that the F1 movie is on. I just caught something at the corner of my eye, and it's my bag. Speaking of, I don't know which bags to pack. I don't know if I need like a little nice black bag or whether I'm just being silly and I should just stick to daytime bags. But anyway, back to travel pillow. I will probably sleep on the plane, so hopefully that will help. I'll pop that over here so it's not distracting me in the background. But other bag wise, as well as my rucksack, I'm going to be taking these two little crossbody or bum bags. The kind of, you know, the ones that are sort of like that, kind of a bit Uniqlo-y. I do love Uniqlo, I have to say, but these were actually quite special because my brother got me them whilst he was travelling, and they are so handy. This is actually the bag that I had to sew up because I used it so much and filled it to the brim that it actually started to peel away from the seam. I don't know if you can still see my sewing job, and yeah, it's still holding my sewing job. So I've got my bags, and so I've got a little purple one, little sort of sage green one, and I do have a dark green one, but I've been using that really handily over the summer for walking my dog. It's so handy, it's got these amazing pockets. I think I'll probably leave that one and take these two. But do I need a nice little swish bag for the evening? Again, why am I asking here? Because I'll have already been and gone. But I can report back, so I need to report back on sandals or nice shoes for the evening, and also bags and sort of accessories for the evening. But it'd be great to hear kind of what people do in Orlando at night time. So me and my husband, most of the holidays we've been on together are kind of city breaks, or to Greece because that's where he's from, and we will go out in the day, and it'll be usually quite just a relaxing day. Might do a bit of exploring, but then in the evening we'll go for dinner and drinks. And the vloggers that I've seen a lot of on YouTube, they'll do a lot during the day, and then in the evening they just kind of wind down, go back to the hotel, which is fab. But I think we might want to do maybe a night, find a bar or something like that. I'm not quite sure, we'll see how it goes. I say that now, I'm probably going to be exhausted and not be able to go, but it would be nice to do so. So again, if you've got any tips or tricks, please feel free to pop them in the comments, and then if we ever go back, I'll be able to read them and go again, or I will be able to compare them to my experience, and I will let you know whether we actually did end up going out and what the experience was like. So I think that's mainly it, apart from chargers and little kind of bits and bobs like that, toothbrush, things that I'm kind of using at the moment that I can't shove in a bag just yet. So thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited, and I really hope that some of you can follow along the journey and watch the vlogs as we go around the parks as well, as I'm very excited. And we are doing the Halloween nights, like I said. We're going to be doing lots of Disney, lots of Universal, and hopefully some bits in the evening as well. So if you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.